it's painful when you look at it because we have amazing, like a wide, capacity as a country, raising talent, but then we lose the same talents in the same breath. But I'll say that tech is a great leveler. Funding is the biggest challenge. So, I'm sure that a lot of people would say, oh well, that's about a major challenge for most businesses too. But I think it's twice hard for me personally as a female founder and a first-time founder, right? A lot of doors are just shut when it comes to funding, but we believe that with the right stakeholders, with government, um, individual investors and all of that, we'll be able to crack the funding code. But it's been really hard funding the business. That is, funding the women, funding the business itself, building structures, building the infrastructures that we need to power the business. It's been so hard, quite tough.
Shalape's goal in the next 5 years is to empower women in the Nigerian market. It's obvious that tech is hard, but with the right amount of resilience, women can achieve anything.
Okay, so I'll just quickly add to that our goal is that in the next 5 years, the base case, right, would have helped, would have served 500,000 women. So when it's 500,000 women, we're looking at 350,000 women on the supply side of a business and 150,000 smallholder female farmers. And we believe that that number is possible because our addressable market is 57 million working women in Nigeria alone, right? And that's just looking at the Nigerian market. But when we look at the other markets we're looking at, for instance, we're looking at other African markets by next year. So it's possible, and this will be measured, and we'll be sharing with the public, our impact and its measurements. So I'll just say for upcoming techpreneurs, I keep telling them, I said, let no one tell an African woman that it can't be done. Let nobody look at an African girl and say, no, you can't do it. You're an African girl. Come on. The customs, everything is, tilted against you. Kick them right in the middle, right? Put a fist right in its face because um, a lot of us grew up resilient, right? We had to clear away the thorns and make way for ourselves. So um, it's hard. It's double hard. So tech is hard, right? It looks glam out there, but it's really hard. Trust me, because I say, especially the infrastructure. You're working with a string of codes. That's why I tell people, right? Something can break somewhere. It works now. Then we all drive cars. A car takes you somewhere, and then you want to go home. It isn't working again, and you're wondering what happened. So much more string of codes from one point to another. Something is not returning, and you have to fix it. So you just have to also immerse yourself in the problem. It's important to walk in the shoes of whatever problem you want to solve. It's very, very key. I would say, secondly, um, you just have to, the starter pack, you have to come in very, very resilient. So many days. There are some days I still wake up and feel like, where do I draw the line here? So many days, you have that feeling, but you've got to keep going on. And then, thirdly, I would say that it's possible that it gets to places where it looks as if, you're not wanted at the table. It's okay, but it's fine to create your own table, right? And but be whatever you do, be less concerned about the glam, be less concerned about the glitz, but be more concerned about the problem you're solving for. Be driven, be mission driven, be impact driven, and the rest, will come with it.
Nigerian women are believed to care more for their parents and, as such, are in the best position to teach them financial literacy and retirement plan.
Okay, so I would say that typically the Nigerian woman, of course, suffers from the black tax, more of that. I personally tagged it Ada syndrome, right? And that is, oh, you see parents saying, I want more girls because girls take care of their parents. Men, when they take a partner or something, they don't, but the girls, oh my, and it's a good thing. And those are the things that we keep having conversations about in our community. Talk to your parents about money. What are their retirement plans? Do they want to live in with you? Do they want to, what's their pension, all of those conversations. Otherwise, what about your siblings? What do you want to do for them? How do you measure? Where do you stop? because you realize that you just continue giving. You are trapped in that cycle where you can't even sustain yourself, and then you become dependent on another one. So all of these things are generational challenges that has plagued the African child, but more the African girl, because you are the ada, you are the girl, you are the one who's supposed to be very nurturing always. But hey, you can do all of this with the awareness of knowledge, and that's why we say be grounded with financial, in personal finance and in financial knowledge yourself. What's your net worth? That's how you can talk to parents, talk to partners, talk to people around you, okay, on making better financial decisions for themselves, for yourself, so that nobody becomes, they don't look, you know what they say about this thing that say, lean on me, no be press me die. So they don't lean on you, and then want to suffocate you. So you've just got to be financially sound, and those are the things that we teach in our community. Get yourself a tribe, like Harvest. And like I say, even if you don't use the platform, the insights, the tools that you gain from being a community member of Harvest is mind shifting. And every African girl, every African woman needs such to do better.
Furniture is one of the most important home accessories. It adds style and elegance beside their primary functional designs. They contribute to the beautification and aesthetics of a place. The world production of furniture is estimated at over $350 billion, out of which the Nigeria's market share is 50 billion naira. The furniture industry has improved in Nigeria from just the roadside carpentry to the creative arts of combining wood, metal, cushion to give glamour and beauty to chairs, tables, wardrobes, cabinets, and other household furniture. The market for the furniture industry would always be in demand because everyone needs furniture for countless reasons. In Lagos, there is a furniture market where you find all types of artisans, materials, and tools for furniture making. The market is well coordinated with a chairman and organized rules.
Wíwà láyé ọjà wa yìí ó mọ̀ lọ bí 70 bí 70 ọdún. Tí mo bá wò dáadáa ọ̀nà karùn-ún níbi tá a wà yìí. A ti kọ́kọ́ wà ní Watchtower ní Ṣómólúrí. Wọ́n ń pè ibì kan ní Enípákó ní Onípànù ńbẹ̀ yẹn. Àwa náà lè Nípákó tá wà ńbẹ̀ nígbà náà lọ́hùn. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà yẹn a ti tún wà ní ilé epo Àjíìpù tó wà ní Fádèyí ibi tí bíríìjì ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ wà ń jọ sí. Lẹ́yìn tá a kúrò ńbẹ̀ la ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá lọ sí Káyọ̀dé níbi táwọn onírin wà nísìn. A kúrò ńbẹ̀ ní 1977 la wá wọ́ sí bíbá yìí. Ká tó wá dé bíbá yìí ilé kiri pé kí ọjà ó dìgbà tó bá ń yá kán ní ká kúrò lórí ilẹ̀ àwọn ọlọ́dani tó fún wa ńlẹ̀ tàbí ẹbí tó fún wa ńlẹ̀ ló mú kí àwọn bàbá wa àgbà náà lọ́hùn kí wọ́n gbé ìgbésẹ̀ lórí ká gba ilẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó láyé LSDPC. So àtìgbà yẹn la ti wá béèrè fún ilẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé ó jẹ́ àyè ibi tíjọba yà sọ́tọ̀ fún kátàkárà tàbí iléeṣẹ́. Ìdí tó gbé wa débì nìyẹn. So ìjọba Lagos State ló fún wa níbí láyé LSDPC. Èmi lálága karùn-ún. Àwọn alága tán ti lọ. Ẹ̀yẹn la ní John Oyè. Bàbá dàgbà wọn wá sọ́jà mọ́. Ó di mẹ́ta bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Gbà tí bàbá dàgbà tán wá sọ́jà wọn ni Sùbẹ́rù Àkànó. Nánà wà tún bọ́ síbẹ̀. Àwọn kú ní April 2016. Gbà yẹn ló ṣẹ̀ wá kan èmi Isiaka orí oyè. Títí dìgbà tá a wá wà yìí. Kì í ṣe pé a lè lé 105 èèyàn. yìí táyìn lóyìnbó ń pè ní 500 jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ní omi ò sọ pé 500 jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ àtẹnira àtẹnínta á lè lọ́gọ́rùn-ún 5 lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin a kà wọn ọmọọṣẹ́ ìkọ́ṣẹ́ o tó yẹ kó ń kọ́ṣẹ́ furniture upholsterer weather oríṣiríṣi iṣẹ́ tó jẹ mọ́ building materials tó jẹ mọ́ nǹkan kọ́lé torí níta base lé lórí gan nìyẹn àti pákó plywood oríṣiríṣi nǹkan kọ́lé tó dédé páànù cement kọ́kọ́rọ́ ìṣó gbogbo nǹkan kọ́lé àwọn kan wà tán tó ń kọ́ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí àwọn kan wà tó yẹ pé ibi náà ti kọ́ ibi náà tún wà 100,000 tètè ẹ̀ ní àjùbá ń lọ àpọ̀ lórí tẹ environmental tó sọ wàá rí i pé ńgbà tí wọn náà débi láàárọ̀ yìí ò lè wọlé a ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ environmental láago 7 a parí ẹ̀ láago 9:30 tó ra nígbàgbọ́ nú Ọlọ́run tá a bá dúró láago 9:30 yẹn kò sẹ́ni tó gbọ́dọ̀ tajà hàn ní tàwọn ní rà environmental gbogbo ọjà ti mọ́ so mùsùlùmí á gbàdúrà àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ní àjọ nígbàgbọ́ àwọn náà gbàdúrà ìyẹn ló máa gbé adago 10 kálukú tó padà sẹ́nu iṣẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ètò tíjọba filẹ̀ bọ́jà wáyé ṣe tó yẹ àti bó ṣe rí o lè rí ibi tán gbé ń ta ọtí ń bì tó dẹ́ni tó ti mu tí yó ó lè hùwà kíwà àgbà kéèyàn ó jalè ẹni bá ti jalè a máa lè kúrò lọ́jà ni àdẹ̀gbà kéèyàn ó jà gbogbo nǹkan tó wù kó lè rí bó ṣe bí ẹni nínú tó wá fẹjọ́ sùn alága tó bá ti dọ́dọ̀ alága pe àwọn ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀ agbọ́tọ̀ tún agbátòsí tó bá yẹ ká fi ṣàtúnṣe bẹ̀ á dẹ̀ ṣe a lè dẹ́lòmíì lẹ́jọ́ pé ókè lọ gbélé ọ̀sẹ̀ 2 ẹni tí ń tajà ojoojúmọ́ tó mọ tó ń rí lójúmọ́ ta ni kó lọ gbélé ọ̀sẹ̀ 2 ọ̀sẹ̀ kan tó bá padà dé sẹ́mọ̀ para àárọ̀ n tó mú jà wájọ́ sí tírú ẹ̀ bá ti ń bọ̀ á mọ̀ pé kó ń lọ fẹjọ́ sùn ó ń lọ́nà àbáyọ so ara àwọn ètò tán bàbá rẹ̀ ti làálẹ̀ nìyẹn ó dẹ̀ wà bẹ́ẹ̀ títí dè ní ìní àbí ó dẹ̀ ṣe máa rí lọ náà nìyẹn àgbà owó àgbà pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn bí kì í ṣe pé irú ilẹ̀ nísìnyí ìdọ̀tí tán bá lò nígbà bá fẹ́ sanwó lọ́mà ṣe mọ̀ pé ó di dandan so à ń gbà yẹn lówó tí ò ga àwọn èèyàn lára tó jẹ́ pé kò tiẹ̀ ní wọn lára ńgbà tí a ti wà bá ṣe fi wà yẹn kò sówó kan tá à ń gbà kọjá owó ìsọ̀tán bá rẹ́ǹtì tán sanwó ẹ̀ lọ́dún kò sí owó túláàsì kan tó ìnájà kan àbẹ̀wọ̀n rajà kan bí wàá lè sọ pé wọ́n ń gbà lọ́wọ́ àgbowó car park àgbowó ilé ìgbẹ́ ilé ìtọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀dẹ̀ la ní tó yẹ pé tí wọ̀gán bá tiẹ̀ débẹ̀ wàá fẹ́ lè sùn bẹ̀ pé ṣébì náà dẹ̀ lẹ pé nílé ìgbẹ́ lẹ pé nílé ìwẹ̀ nílé ìtọ̀ tá a tọ́jú gbogbo ẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí nǹkan tí Lagos State fẹ́ gbogbo àlẹ́ náà wá ń yẹ̀ wá wò Lagos State yẹn wọn yé wá wọn wá láti aláùsá wọn wá láti local government ẹgbẹ́ nípákó ní Lagos State gan àwọn gan tún wá tó dáa jẹ́ kókó kan nínú ọjà tó jẹ́ ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Lagos State Building Materials and Building Materials Association ajẹ́ kókó kan so bá a ṣe ń tò díẹ̀ díẹ̀ nìyẹn tọ́lọ́ndẹ̀ fún wa tó challenge ta ní pọ̀ díẹ̀ ó kàn yẹ pé bórílẹ̀-èdè wa ṣe fi ń lọ ni tí gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọn náà ṣe rí ńgbà tẹ wọnú ọjà àwọn iṣẹ́ tó ń jáde níbí báyìí ọ̀pọ̀ ẹ̀ ní tán bá gbé dé ta tán bá sọ fún wọn pé wọ́n import ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ní jiyàn torí aláwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tí wọ́n kájú ẹ̀ anything furniture bó jẹ́ ìtàn fi irin ṣe bó jẹ́ ìtàn fi igi ṣe bó jẹ́ ìtàn fi bọ́ọ̀dù plywood ṣe ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀pọ̀ nǹkan tá à ń wí ló nídìí ọ̀pọ̀ owó materials tá a dẹ̀ ń lò jù local materials ní tó yẹ jẹ́ pé tán bá ṣe finishing ẹ̀ tán tiẹ̀ tún dájú tìlú tán gbé alátòkèrè lọ irú ẹ̀ tí wọ́n ti kó jáde láàárọ̀ yìí wọ́n náà pàdé nǹkan tán jáde lọ nígbà tí wọ́n ṣí géètì tá a pàdé environmental lẹ́ẹ̀kan so gbogbo orú àwọn kan báwọn yẹn ṣùgbọ́n kíjọba ó gbégbèsè àti kún wa lọ́wọ́ kí nǹkan yẹn lè di tí ó kárí gbogbo Áfíríkà tí ò ní mọ Nàìjíríà nìkan bọ́jà wa ṣe fi rí yìí láti Àbújá àwọn kan wà tó yẹ pé ní showroom wọn ibi náà ti wọ́n ń produce sales wọn ọjà tán tà ibi náà ti ń ṣe tán lọ kó sí showroom lábàá ti tan náà sí adúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́run ọlọ́run fi ń pọ́n wa ló dẹ̀ fi ń yìn wá so tíjọba bá kún wa lọ́wọ́ nípa pé kán finance wa béèyàn bá ṣe lówó ṣòwò mọ́ ni a ṣe jèrè mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà dẹ̀ ni a ṣe rágbéga lẹ́nu òwò yẹn tó wò ní nìyẹn wàá rí i pé ẹni tó ń fi 1,000 ṣòwò èrè ẹ̀ ò lè dàbí ẹni tó ń fi 10,000 ṣe ẹni tó ń fi 1 million ṣòwò a lè fi ẹni tó ń fi 50 million ṣe béèyàn bá ṣe lówó ṣòwò mọ́ náà lè rí ẹ̀ ó ṣe pọ̀ tó náà dẹ̀ ni ayé á fi mọ̀ ọ́ sí.
Well, I've been in the business for a very long time because I started the business with my dad around 1985. I'm still in secondary school then. At earlier stage, I have the mind of be a first man, but my dad said he want me to go into business because he have a lot of achievement that he made in doing the business. And as time goes on, I later joined my dad in doing the business. I later have interest in doing the wood business. I give glory to Almighty God because the business is a good business, and if you can try to have interest in what you are doing, at least I know that you never regret in doing whatever you are doing. We have a lot of different type of woods that is even uncountable, most especially in Southwest here. We get wood from different states in Nigeria here. Starting from anything from Ijebu, the Shagam, Ore, Bini, Ondo, Idori, Owo, Ifon, Sobe, Agbanikaka Empire in Onwa, all that kind of. We get wood in many different states in Nigeria here. Just for example, we have mahogany. Mahogany is a redwood and they're used for furniture wood, just like bed, shelf, door, architrave, and so on. They're used for many things. We also have black afara, we have mazonia, we have teak, we have abora, we have idigbo, we have eku, and so on and so forth. And that's what we are even be using for a very long time in Nigeria here before they started bringing the imported board and all these things. The wood serve more longer than the board. The board have different type. You have the one that lasts longer, and which we have the one that don't even last longer. But I still prefer, due to me, I still prefer the wood than using the board. If at all, if I'm doing anything in my house, I always prefer using the wood. The difference there is not very much. But difference between the local one, the local board, and the wood that we use here, the wood lasts longer than the imported board. And most of this imported board, they process the wood here, which they even take down to that place to go and made as board, and they'll still bring it back for us here. That due to the government, because the government supposed to even work on that, which if at all, if something will even happen like that, what we have here, they're supposed to produce it here. Not that they will take it over there and then later do the processing and then later bring it for us here, which is not even an idea. I didn't even support that. We encounter a lot of challenges on that because bringing the imported boards down to Nigeria make the wood business to go down, which at least the way we even enjoy doing the business, the wood business before, is quite different from the way we enjoy it now. In Nigeria, yeah, some people know the quality of the wood, which they still patronize us. Most especially, some of my father's customers that they are in old age, they normally even tell their children and most of their colleagues and family that if you want to do something like this, it's even more better for you to go for wood, because now people are now coming back to get the wood and to use it for whatever they want to use it than before that. Everybody just faced the imported material that this was, but because what they see that they gain a lot, and the time of using the Nigeria something here, they see that is even more get lasting than using the imported wood. Under the normal procedure, you're supposed to learn whatever you want to do. Probably because if you don't even learn, you will not be able to go far in doing it, because along the line, you see people that they will tell you that they want to supply you wood. At the end of the day, they will just collect money from you, and which the something will not be done. But once you learn what you want to do, after all, if anybody even want to bring what is not supposed to bring into the business, you say, no, that's not the way I'm supposed to go. This is the right way I'm supposed to go. It depends on how the person have the sense and the knowledge of learning. Because some people may even be there between 1 year, they will capture whatever they want to capture about learning about the wood or to do a wood business. But some people, they have a dull brain. Maybe they will use about 3 to 4 years.
wàá rí i pé mo sọ ọ́nà ọ̀rọ̀ mi pé à ń tà à ń rà ni àwọn ọlọ́dàn ni tí wọ́n wá rẹ́ǹtì ṣọ́ọ̀bù ń bí ọ̀pọ̀ wọn ni wọ́n na pàápàá àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké ìsìn ìmíì parí ní polytechnic àwọn tó parí lọ́fà tó parí yaba tó parí káàkiri tẹ́ pé bíi náà tí wọ́n á ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọn so àwọn ọmọ yẹn ń gbé sórí social media but àwa gẹ́gẹ́ bíi bàbá ọjà tẹni ó lọ́jà àwọn ò tí ì wọ social media tó mọ̀ pé ayé jọ́sí ńlòbí ń sọ fọ́mọ pé iṣẹ́ ìdandan ni kò kọ́ níbi tí ayé dé nísìn iṣẹ́ tó bá wu ọmọ láti kọ́ nígbà tó ọmọ báyìí ti sọ fún ìyá àti bàbá ẹ̀ pé iṣẹ́ yìí ló wu òun kọ́ àwọn tó mọ̀ wá ń bí báyìí tán mọ irú nǹkan tó ń jáde ń bí àwọn ọmọ wa sọ́dọ̀ ọ̀gá tí wọ́n mọ̀ tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ lábẹ́ àkóso ọjà títí wa tírú ọ̀gá yẹn bá ti wá gbọmọṣẹ́ yẹn á jẹ́ káwa tá a já lákòóso ọjà ó mọ̀ pé ọmọọmọṣẹ́ kan wá fóun o iṣẹ́ báyìí tó fẹ́ kọ́ rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ tó fẹ́ ṣe rẹ̀ á dẹ̀ fàdúrà sí pé kán máa lọ ṣe irú àwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn pọ̀ tó jẹ́ pé ńgbà kọ́ṣẹ́ tán ibi náà náà ti tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn náà tán bá ti kọ́ṣẹ́ yẹn èyí tó bá ráyè síbi á dúró ń bí èyí tí ò ráyè bọ̀tọ̀ pọ̀ wọn gan-an dúró ń bí torí wọ́n mọ nǹkan tí ibi ń bí ẹ sì mọ̀ pọ̀rọ̀ ṣẹ́rè ó kò èèyàn mọ̀ tán bọ́n bá kọ́ ṣiṣẹ́ mi tó bá dàbí pé ó fẹ́ pa wọn lórí asáré lọ fún bọ́ọ̀gá tó kọ́ wọn àwọn ọ̀gá tó pọ̀ mí ọ̀tọ̀ lọ̀gá ọ̀tọ̀ tún ni ọ̀gá so wọ́n pọ̀ mí báyìí bẹ́ẹ̀ ìgbà tí state government fún wa nílẹ̀ ń bí ọ̀pọ̀ nǹkan náà máa fún wa ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tán tiẹ̀ ti fún wa nílẹ̀ tá a ti ń rí bí tajà wa rajà wa àwa náà ò béèrè mọ́ ò bọ̀ tó bá gbé wa lọ́la à ń retí ẹ̀ o tó dáadé wa ni kò máa fún wa ní transformer tó máa fún wa níná ìgbà tán ò fún wa la lọ rà fúnra wa wọn làwọn ò fún wa ní tar road àwa la mọ̀ bá ń ṣe ń ṣe ọ̀nà wa ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tóbi dórí omi but bí náà ṣe ń wá ìgbà tí nepa tí nàìjíríà ń rí bákan láti ìgbà kan tí náà ò déédéé ọ̀pọ̀ wa láti ra generator ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ yẹn torí ń gbé yẹn bá gbaṣẹ́ níṣẹ́ tí nepa fún wa níná tó dẹ̀ lásìkò tó dá fún eníṣẹ́ ò ní fẹ́ gbọ́ pé iná ni ò sí ó mú ká pọ̀ wa ra generator gbogbo àwọn ọmọ sáǹwì gbogbo àwọn ọ̀gá wọn yìí náà ní generator tán fi ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọn.
The furniture market is not without its challenges. The unavailability of raw materials and the constant lack of power supply does not just affect the furniture industry, but the Nigerian manufacturing industry as a whole.
Challenges pọ̀ gan-an níbi iṣẹ́ yìí. Ìgbà míì wà tó yẹ pé iná máa disturb wa. A ní rí iná ṣiṣẹ́. Generator tá a dẹ̀ ń lò kò powerful bí iná. Ó ti yé yín. So àwọn challenges tá a máa ń face a máa ń dojú kọ lórí iṣẹ́ nìyẹn. So táwọn oníṣẹ́ bá dẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ fẹ́ gbéṣẹ́ kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tá a lè ṣe ju pé ká wá means láti fi parí iṣẹ́ yẹn. Iná generator náà la lè lò.
Nípa bá a ṣe ń sanwó gẹ́gẹ́ bí olórí àti ìgbìmọ̀ ẹni bá ti mú ná nínú wọn torí gbogbo wọn kọ́ ló ń lo ná ìbá àwọn tó ń lo ná nínú wọn àti ní levy tí a fi wọ́n sí orí ẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ ti mọ̀ páwọn láti sanwó yẹn a tún wá ṣe débi pé ìjọba ní ká máa lọlé láago 6 tá a bá lọlé tán àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ kan wà tí a sẹ́ẹ̀tì kalẹ̀ á tó bí àwọn 8 àwọn èèyàn ní lọlé láago 6 wọ́n á yí ká gbogbo ọjà a dẹ̀ ṣe àwọn ṣúìsì kan síta tó yẹ pé òun ló control gbogbo nǹkan téèyàn ń lò ní workshop ẹ̀ tó ní on and off so àwọn gbìmọ̀ tí wọ́n máa patrol yẹn gbogbo nǹkan tí fuse tán ṣe síta yẹn tó ti ní on and off yẹn ìyẹn náà máa wò wọ́n bá ti rẹ́ni tó gbàgbé tiẹ̀ ńgbà tó ń lọ lé ó wà ní on ńgbà tó ń lọ bóyá ó pẹ́ kó tó palẹ̀ mọ́ wá ń sáré jáde lọ pé kí gbìmọ̀ ọjà máa mú òun kò rántí pa àwọn gbìmọ̀ 6-8 yẹn àwọn máa lọ wọ́n máa pa àwọn èèyàn kúrò lọ́jà nìkan bíi 20 or 6:30 yóòjúmọ́ dẹ̀ nìyẹn àfijọ́ Sunday nìkan tá a bá wá yóòjúmọ́ là ń ṣe yẹn gbogbo wọn yẹn náà n tó ti ṣe wá rí ó jẹ́ ká gbẹ́ burú ọ̀rọ̀ kámọ́bàrógun iná mọ́ ni adẹ̀dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run láti gbà náà tí pé bóyá èèyàn dẹ̀ ń jalè a lè pọ̀ tó yìí ká mọ̀ rí ọmọ ẹ̀yìn 12 péré ni Jésù ní tí Júdásì ẹyọ kan ya nǹkan mọ́ lọ́wọ́ ká mọ̀ àṣọ bá a ṣe pọ̀ tó yìí bá a bá tiẹ̀ wá gbúrò orú ẹ̀ àwọn olè pé kọ́mọṣẹ́ ó jí bọ́ọ̀dù ọ̀gá kó jí ṣó tàbí kó tọ́ bọ àpò ọ̀gá àbí wọ́n fi fóònù síbì kan ó wo bí kò réèyàn kankan ó mú irú àwọn olè bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tán bá rẹ̀ ti lè mú lọ́sàn-án bẹ́ẹ̀ tán mú wá kò sí rẹ̀ lóru torí àwa ò sí lọ́jà mọ́ ọ̀dẹ́dẹ̀ ti wà but lọ́sàn-án tán bá ti mú wá bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn á pe àwọn ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀ òfin ti wà bí mo ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ mutí lọ́jà wa ń bì èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ jalè èèyàn dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ jà so ẹni bá ti jalè òwe tá àṣà táwọn ń dá fún ni pé ó ti di irú ẹ̀ kalẹ̀ ó ti fòṣù ká lérí kẹgbẹ́ ó kàn gbèrú ká sì síta ni ẹni bá ti jalè ń lọ ni bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́ni ó bá mutí.
The sector needs to be empowered because it has a great potential to provide not just employment but contributor to internal revenue for the country.
Nigeria, by extension, Africa, is faced with a lot of challenges. The growing youth population with little engagement, that is a ticking time bomb. We are a blessed people with diverse culture and highly cerebral minds who have a lot to say. And yes, we are talking. It is important we drive the right conversation that informs, inspires, influences thought and action. If we say there's beauty in our diversity, then let us embrace our diverse culture. We must continue to courageously be the voice of transformation as we are the hope for the future. Yesterday's conversations shape today. What are you saying to shape your tomorrow? We know you have a lot to say, and we are here to hear you.
I bet your eyes and ears are thrilled with music videos coming from Nigerian artists. You obviously notice the singer, the video vixens, and other talents. But what about the music director? Close your eyes, think about your favorite music video, and see if you can tell who directed it. Great if you can, sad if you can't. We're here to celebrate the brains behind the videos out there, and here are 5 top Nigerian music video directors. Number 1, Clarence Peters. He's a director, filmmaker, and cinematographer. The founder and chief executive officer of Capital Dream Pictures was involved in a Mobil-sponsored music video for a documentary on AIDS in 1998. He directed 40 episodes of the TV series Everyday People. Peters has also shot a good number of documentaries, TV commercials, short films, and TV features. He has directed music videos for recording artists such as Dare, Durella, Wizkid, Seyi Shay, Burna Boy, Waje, Tubaba, Fino, Runtown, and Yemi Alade. Peters has won numerous awards for his works. Number 2, TG Omori. Also known as Boy Director, TG Omori is a Nigerian music video director and cinematographer. He started directing at 15 while overseeing stage plays at school and church. He began making videos a year later but took it up professionally at 18 after graduating from Pencil Film Institute. This made him the youngest professional filmmaker in Nigeria. He has worked with Olamide, Wizkid, Burna Boy, Tekno, Kiss Daniel, Fireboy DML, Fowls, Timaya, Naira Marley, and many others.
So I put that for the camera when I pass it down. Put some Gucci on that booty cause she kill a man. That's why she don't want to push, she wanna stick around. But she still say that she love me cause I'm sexy. And I tell her that she lying, that she flexing. She be screaming, I be screaming, we be reckless. But I know that she be liking makeup sexy.
Number 3, Meji Alabi. This London-born Nigerian filmmaker, director, photographer, and producer has worked alongside Beyonce, Burna Boy, Wizkid, Davido, Tiwa Savage, Popcan, Goldlink, and Nasty C. He directed Seyi Shay's Murder in 2014, a move that gave him the desired attention in Nigeria. Alabi also worked with Wizkid on his Made in Lagos album. He's a co-founder of JM Films with Jimmy Adesoya.
You know my style, you know the chance, then it's all up, eBay. If you say you get the man, then you wanna try, you go die, baby. It's been a landslide for a long time, but then no one believe me. All up when I come back, you one try, but you do me for easy.
Number 4, Dami Twitch. His original name is Owolabi Oluwadamilola. Twitch started with photography in 2013 before going to full music production in 2017. That was the year he shot his first music video for Burna Boy and Yonda. He has gone on to shoot visuals for Fowls, Burna Boy, Olamide, Lil Kesh, Victor A.D., Simi, Peruzzi, Mayokun, Leah, and Davido. Number 5, HG2 Filmworks. Olaolu Olabode Folarin, also known as HG2 Filmworks, is a Nigerian-American music video director, graphic designer, entrepreneur, and cinematographer. Olabode began his production journey as a graphic designer and later went into full-time music video production in 2010. He has directed music videos for big-name artists like D'banj, Kiss Daniel, Dami Crane, Reminisce, Nice, and Scales. You will agree with me that these directors bend over backwards to churn out massive videos for our entertainment. And such, they deserve more than enough accolades for their contributions. So whenever you watch your favorite artist videos, always remember the men behind the scene.
businesses in Africa can be very challenging. In Nigeria, it is particularly intimidating, and successful builders have learned how to navigate a hostile environment to unlock opportunities. But one major challenge businesses face is how to filter through the noise and identify where their ideal customers exist. Get insight and practical steps from industry players and captains of industries. Hear success stories to help you make informed decisions as you scale your business in Nigeria. Watch Business Insights at this time on Plus TV Africa.
Good morning. I am Adedolapo Ajayi. This is the news update. The 988,923 registered voters in Ekiti State across the 16 local government areas are going to the poll to elect the governor and the deputy governor of the state today. The election will hold in 2,445 polling units in 177 registration areas in 3 senatorial districts, 6 federal constituencies, and 26 state constituencies across the states. A total number of 16 candidates and parties are contesting the governorship election. Clean Foundation has called on all stakeholders, INEC participants, political parties, media, CSOs and observer groups, and the electorate to play by the rules set by INEC. The efforts should be made to educate and sensitize the citizens on the need to avoid all forms of violence in the election and hate speeches. The acting executive director of Clean Foundation, Ruth Olofi, while speaking with newsmen in Abuja, said the foundation will deploy about 32 citizen observers across the 16 local government areas.
We come down to the June 18, 2022 Ekiti governorship election. Clean Foundation calls on all stakeholders, particularly INEC, political parties, media, civil society organizations, observer groups, both domestic and international, and the electorate to play by the rules of the game as set out by INEC. Efforts should be made to educate and sensitize the citizens on the need to eschew all forms of violence in the elections, but especially with the rise of hate and insightful speeches.
Beyond INEC, up to civil society organizations, observer groups, media professionals. So it tells you that all of us are stakeholders towards the peaceful outcome of the election. So our conduct contributes to making this happen. So you just use this platform to appeal to stakeholders to ensure that they play by the rules and do the needful towards the outcomes of the June 18th governorship elections in Ekiti State.
We have a data of 84.8% saying that the elections, they hope and they know that the elections will come out peacefully. But what we have here is, if you see, it's a threat assessment. So this is futuristic to say if these things are not put in place, this might actually result to conflict. That doesn't mean that we are saying that the election will come out.
An election observation group in Nigeria, Situation Room, has called on relevant stakeholders to ensure a violence-free governorship election in Ekiti State. The convener of the group, James Ugochukwu, in a press briefing in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, noted that expectations were high for INEC to conduct the election in a peaceful and transparent manner that would satisfy the people. He, however, described the political environment in Ekiti State as peaceful ahead of the Saturday governorship election in the state. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has submitted the name of his running mate to INEC. He is Kabiru Ibrahim Masari. INEC had fixed Friday, the 16th of June, as the deadline for parties to send the names of their vice presidential candidates. And also, the Labour Party has submitted the name of Doyin Okupe as Peter Obi's running mate. Okupe's name was submitted as part of the plan to beat the Friday, June the 17th deadline given by INEC to political parties. Okupe, who is the Director General of Peter Obi campaign, will be the placeholder and would later be changed after the party stakeholders must have agreed on the suitable vice presidential candidate for the 2023 elections. Recall that the party has said its vice president will come from the north. The Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum has turned the heat on Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa for agreeing to run as the vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the next year's election. The SMBLF said in a statement that it was appalled by the governor's action, which it said ran contrary to the May 11th joint decision of Southern State governors hosted by Okowa himself in Asaba. The camp of Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has remained in shock over the decision of PDP's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar to overlook the Rivers strongman in picking his running mate. And tears flowed freely at the mass funeral for the victims of June 5 terror attack at a St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo. Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu and his wife, Chief Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, attended the funeral mass held at the Maidis Resort and Hotel in Owo. Governor Akeredolu, who wept during his speech, said the government failed to protect the victims of the terror attack. But in a swift response, the Bishop of Ondo Catholic Diocese, Dr. Jude Arugundade, declared that the Governor Akeredolu had not failed in protecting his people.
When these wanderers are gone,
The Registrar of the Joint Admission and Matriculations Board, JAMB, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, has said that the incessant strikes by unions in the Nigerian tertiary institutions are causing irreparable damage to the nation's educational system. Oloyede said this in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, when JAMB, in collaboration with the United States project-based agency, Project Q, presented a multi-billion naira medical equipment to the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital for improved health care and delivery in the country. It described the ongoing industrial strike by the members of ASU, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, and Non-Academic Staff Union, NASU, as unnecessary. And in other parts of Africa, in Senegal, roads leading to the home of prominent opposition leader Ousmane Sonko were closed off by barricades and police in anti-riot gear. Sonko was barred from attending Friday's prayers at the mosque after he called for protest despite the authorities' ban on public order on ground. Supporters who tried to get near the building in an upmarket district of Dakar were firmly told to turn back. And outside Africa, there are fears for the safety of dozens of worshippers in the Afghan capital of Kabul after a Sikh temple was hit in an explosion. The blast occurred in the early hours of Saturday morning, and it is unclear if there are casualties. One local official at the scene, Gosam Singh, said there had been up to 30 people inside the temple at the time of the blast. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has described sexual violence as a brutal tactic of warfare and repression that terrorizes population, destroys lives, and fractures communities. Guterres, who said this in his message to mark the International Day for the Elimination of Sexual Violence in Conflict, observed that perpetrators rarely face the consequences of their actions. The UN General Assembly proclaimed June the 19th each year the International Day for Elimination of Sexual Violence in Conflict. And in entertainment news, Nigerian actor and member of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, Moses Armstrong, has been arrested for allegedly raping a minor. Armstrong, actor and singer, was arrested by men of the Akwa Ibom State Police Command for allegedly defiling a 16-year-old girl. Reacting to the arrest, the national president of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, Emeka Rollas, described Armstrong's case as a very serious and sad development. And in sport news, Liverpool have agreed a 41 million euro deal to sell Sadio Mane to Bundesliga champions Bayern Munich. The Reds will get a fixed 32 million euros with an additional 6 million euros based on appearances and 3 million euros based on individual and team achievements. Liverpool turned down 2 bids from Bayern before accepting their latest offer for the 30-year-old whose deal with the Reds ran until next summer. He joined Liverpool for 31 million euros plus in add-ons from Southampton in 2016. And that's the news update. For more stories, please follow us on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And do subscribe to our YouTube channel as Plus TV Africa and Plus TV Africa Lifestyle. I am Adidola Kwajayi. Many thanks for watching.
There is no voting on social media. To vote, you would require a permanent voter's card. To get your PVC, visit cvr.inecnigeria.org. Create your account with a valid email address and start the registration process. An activation link will be sent to you. Click on the link and activate your account. Fill out the form, pick and submit a convenient date and time for your biometrics. Print the application slip, which should have your QR code. On the appointed date, go to the nearest INEC office for your biometric capturing. Thereafter, you will get a registration slip to pick your permanent voter's card when ready. Get your PVC today. This message is from Plus TV Africa.
Life can be fun and rewarding, but it also comes with some risk. As in business, you win some, you lose some. And that's why you need to be wise in the choices you make. It's like placing a bet. Again, you need to be wise. Wise in choosing an innovative platform with the highest market options and highest odds ever. That's why Winners Golden Bet, the leader in online, in-shop, virtual, and live sports betting, gives you enhanced platforms that offer you the best chances of winning. For betting on live soccer matches, live dog races, and virtual games. Winners Golden Bet is your best bet. Instant payment of winnings guaranteed. Play online or in any of our numerous shops nearest to you.
Hey guys, be wise. Play on Winners Golden Bet.
Winners Golden Bet, the wise choice.
Who would have thought that the faith of Leah Sharibu would make a nation struggle for survival?
Who would have thought that a line from the Bible would be stronger than a rifle and make this girl choose to die down to the night? She is the hero of faith.
Heroes of faith, the scar from the battle is their greatest title, not silver or gold. Heroes of faith, their greatest reward is the cross of the word, not riches untold. When all is said and done, their light keeps shining on. Who would have thought that 4 years would go by and the nations would stand by in silence and pretend no wrong was done?
Who would have thought that no amount of darkness can quench the smallest light? Oh, daughter of Zion, keep shining on. You are the hero of faith.
Heroes of faith, the scar from the battle is their greatest title, not silver or gold. Heroes of faith, their greatest reward is the cross and the word, not riches untold. When all is said and done, their light keeps shining on.
Shining, shining, shining. Oh, shine the light.
Something about the Lord, His love is His power,
And there is no lover that can give his life and die for his friends. Something about the Lord, His kingdom is forever. He will rule the world with power in righteousness, peace, and joy. He is the hero of faith. Oh,
heroes of faith, the scar from the battle is their greatest title, not silver or gold. Heroes of faith, their greatest reward is the cross and the word, not riches untold.
with one song, with one voice. We're a nation undivided and poised. We will take a stand and build our land in faith to defend what is ours. Here we are as a people with one heart for one cause. We're determined to rebuild and restore. Where freedom rise and truth prevails. Our land where there's hope for us all. Our land someday we would sing like the song. From the north, south, east, and west.
This is Today with John and Helen, the family-focused talk show on Plus TV Africa. Every week, together with you, we enhance the quality of life of the family. Hello and welcome to another exciting conversation. I'm Oma Helen Odeleye.
Yes, and Saturday at this time, we engage the family in a most rewarding conversation, tearing down inhibitions, myths, negative beliefs, and sometimes attitude capable of robbing the family of the bliss it would experience, or it should experience, entrenching love and the yes I can spirit. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. I am John Senaya, and certainly we're going to have a fabulous time together. Cross my heart.
Yes, today's package is loaded, and we're taking it higher. It's a very high tempo. Pharaoh Shonuga, the lifestyle host, is in the house. We shall take you to the gym and also give you an update on technology and social media and a lot more. Plus, our celebrity guest, a man with a big heart and an unusual passion. He's already in the studio, so please make sure you stay with us from start to finish. But first, let's take a break.
It is engagement we need to have.
Those who suffer miscarriages are never taken into account.
Members of the National Assembly are also influence peddlers.
You are sitting on Nigerians' money.
From the barbing, I pay my rent.
Yes, of course, we do appreciate the fact that you're still there, knowing for a fact that you are the reason we are here. So if you just tuned in, you're most welcome. Helen and I will take a snappy look at some happenings within the week. And of course, we'll get the excitement of the day.
I can't wait.
Helen, you want to know what happened during the week?
Yes, we should.
It rained cats and dogs.
Everywhere.
Yes, I don't know where it caught you.
It's not even in Lagos alone. When I talk to people back home in Benue, raining cats and dogs.
Oh, you're from Benue?
In Plateau State, yes, I'm Idoma. Proudly so.
Yeah, it rained cats
the rains
and
have
dogs.
just...
It was bad.
Yeah.
And I really don't know what is happening. Yes, Lagos is on this sea level, whatever. And we should expect now and again floods.
Yeah.
But there still is something we're not getting right.
What's that?
I think our drainage system still needs to be more regularly worked on.
I think about...
And our habits have to change.
Yeah, that will take a long time. We're Nigerians, guy. We are. But I think about a month and a half ago, the Ministry of Environment, was seriously doing something in view of the rainy seasons and the, yearly flooding
I'm not
of
sure
the
that's
time.
worked.
But you can't say that yet because they really can't cover Lagos at once.
I think I can say something.
So they are covering
because yesterday, my car was almost Ikorodu Road.
In Ikeja, I saw people park and scooping water out of their cars.
It was really bad.
I know.
It was really bad.
I know.
However.
And the rains haven't really come really. Also, happily, more captives from the kidnappers den, the Abuja-bound train, more of them were released, especially women and children, within the week.
Yes.
And I said happily. Now, sadly, ASU is still on strike, and we have no idea what the Senate is doing, what the federal government is doing to get our children back to school.
Well, we will always remain a pressure point, and we really have to get things right. Hook or crook, like they say. Okay? But let's go to the excitement for
Hook or crook.
Excitement for the day.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so there it is. We keep praying and working and encouraging ourselves, believing that there must be light at the end of the tunnel. So let's keep hope alive, Nigerians. Let's keep hope alive. John?
Yeah. Moving on, it's time to meet our celebratory guest, a Nigerian with many parts and an unusual dream and passion. Yes. Our guest is a prolific public speaker and an accomplished author, the first Nigerian to fly the nation's flag at the highest peak in Africa, the Uhuru Peak, Mount Kilimanjaro.
He's a Rotarian.
Yes.
And John is grinning from ear to ear. He's a Rotarian with a big heart. And he also loves adventure. His hobbies include reading, swimming, cycling, and mountain climbing.
Yeah.
He has skydived, bungee jumped. I'm seeing that word for the first time, and cycled Lagos, Ghana, and Lagos. Back to Lagos, he did. He holds an MBA degree, currently studying for his PhD in business administration at the University of Arizona, USA.
Yeah, and indeed, we are proud to have with us a Nigerian who has traveled and visited over 70 countries around the world. He's the chief operating officer, Pelicans, DNO Venture Capital, Rotarian Kunle Adeyanju. He's just returned from a trip, London to Lagos, through the Sahara Desert, riding all the way on his bike. At last, we get a share of that wow experience this morning. Thanks a million times for joining us today.
Thank you.
Kunle, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
It's good to see you.
When I was going through your CV, loads of awards that we couldn't take in. Hope you don't mind. Loads of them.
And the awards keep coming.
Yeah.
Even titles keep coming. He just got back from his home state, Kwara State, Offa to be precise. And he just got another traditional title. So, Kunle, you're welcome.
Which one was that?
Chief Ani Kayo of Offa.
What does it mean?
Basically
Ani
means
Kayo.
The guy that brought so much glory, to the hometown. Not only to my hometown, to Nigeria.
To Nigeria,
Africa,
yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're welcome, Kunle.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Thanks.
Sometimes I'm sure you pinch yourself and you say, hey, how did I do it? Wow. 13,000 kilometers from London to Lagos.
Yes.
Over a period of 41
days.
41 days on a motorbike.
Yes. But actually 14 days riding days.
Okay.
14 days actual riding days, but 41 days in total because of all the other meet and greet activities like going to UN, going to the field with the Polio Plus volunteer to immunize the children, and going to World Health Organization. So it's extended,
Yes, those are all same things, but let me ask you. Let me ask you.
About the unsane one.
Let me ask you about the state of your mind. Sometimes don't you think you're crazy?
Well, you see, I hear that a lot. People call me the crazy biker. So it's okay. I'm used to being called crazy, but sometimes for me it's I have that passion, something I want to do. Even if the whole world is going left, if I believe it's right, it's okay.
Right. I have passion too. But what really prompted you to embark on this daredevil journey to ride a motorbike from London
to Nigeria
to Lagos? What got into your head?
Okay, I'm going to tell you, but don't call me crazy because it sounds a bit crazy too. Okay, this was in 2019, right? I rode a bicycle from Lagos to Ghana and back. So before doing that bicycle ride, I was asking, I need something can stretch me. What's my breaking point?
No, tell me, bicycle, the same bike.
No, bicycle.
The regular bicycle.
The regular bicycle. Wow. So it took me 3 days going to Ghana, then 3 days back. So before doing it, I asked myself, what can break me? Okay, this riding a bicycle to Ghana is a big challenge. Maybe it's going to break me. Maybe I'll discover my limit. I did it. Yes, after getting back to Lagos for 2 weeks, I couldn't sit down because of saddle sore, but it didn't break me. Then when I finished it, I said, okay, let me think of another bigger thing that it's more daring, more tougher than that. Then I said, yes, why not London to Lagos on a motorbike? So in 2019,
started-
it went into my bucket list.
Hmm.
Then, you know, okay, I started thinking, okay, when am I going to do this? When am I going to do this? Then 2021, I made up my mind I was doing it. 2022, then I started planning. So it took me a year to build the plan. Actually, one thing I do is like, I have this bucket list and all this crazy adventure in it.
Crazy. You admit that they're crazy.
Yes, I admit. But you know, crazy people change the world, you know.
Yeah.
They said Elon Musk was crazy. Bill Gates was crazy. Steve Jobs, you know, it's okay to be
So it's good to be crazy.
It is good. In the good way.
In the good way, yes.
Yeah. Okay, and then here we are sharing, you know, the excitement with you. A dream that you sat somewhere in the corner of your house, perhaps, and dreamed it up, and here it's become the reality of a lot of people, of Lagos, of Nigeria, of the world, you know. So once again, congratulations. We
Thank
hear
you.
that this is
Thank
not
you.
the first eye-popping adventure you have undertaken.
Yes.
Apart from Ghana, any other thing you'd like to
Yeah,
share?
I've climbed Kili twice. I did Kili in 2008 and
That's
2009.
Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, Mount Kilimanjaro, sorry.
The Mount Kilimanjaro
Yes.
or a
No,
replica?
the real Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania.
Wow.
So I did that. I did it twice, 2008 and 2009. And I did that actually to raise funds for HIV/AIDS orphans in Africa. So I tied it to a charity. And that's actually when I took the Rotary banner, actually to the highest peak in Africa too. So I took the Nigerian flag and also the Rotary banner there. Then I've done skydiving, you know, jumping out of the aircraft. I've done bungee jumping, you know, tie a rope around your leg, then you go head down into a cliff, you know, stuff like that. So I've done a couple of all those things. I've done jet skiing on the Indian Ocean. Yeah, you can do jet ski on maybe a river around. It's okay if you get knocked off or something happen. You're in a river, you can always find yourself out. But on the ocean, it's a totally different ball game. So I did it 2 hours into the Indian Ocean and back.
Do you have friends who
Yes.
share the same passion? I can't imagine that you will have friends who
Well,
share.
I have very, very few. Actually,
They have to be.
extremely few who share this. But, you know, one thing I discovered, a lot of people like the video when I finish. Yeah, can I see that? You know?
Now this is a family show, and from the female or woman's point of view, I'm thinking, if this were my better half, or my brother, you know, uncle, cousin, and maybe my daddy, what's the whole front saying about this?
Okay, well, you see, my children, they know the kind of person I am. I've gone with them also on a couple of, that had some of these adventures, you know, some climbing some little mountains, you know, because of their age. And they know one thing is I like to plan. They know I like to take risks, but I don't take stupid risks. I take calculated risk. So when I look at all those things I want to do, I keep asking myself, what are the failure points here? Then I try to see how I can mitigate those failure points to prevent the threat from being released to me, right? So I spent, okay, like I was saying, this ride took me a year. You can imagine putting 3 hours every day into building this plan for 1 year. So it took a lot of, you know, I kept asking myself, what are the failure points? What have I missed? What have I missed? You know, when I was sure that my plan was okay, then I was ready to go. So the same thing I do, my children, you know, when I told them, they said, okay, it's all right, go for it, but make sure you come back. And I'm back.
Well, you see, one thing that's constant in this particular trip is that you hoisted not only the Nigerian flag, but also the Rotary flag. Tell us what's... Yes, I'm a Rotarian, I know. Or I think I do. Right, but could you just tell us what's the link between...
Yeah, you see, first, I'm a Nigerian before being a Rotarian.
Yes.
So, and I said, I know there's been a lot of negative stories about Nigeria out there, but the point is, the media are just projecting the negative images, but not even the good thing that is coming out of Nigeria. And I said to myself, I'm going to design this flag. The first thing on that flag will be the Nigerian flag, so that the whole world can know. Good things also, good news also comes out of Nigeria, and even more good news than the negative news. Then the second part is to put the Polio Plus flag there. And why did I put the Polio Plus flag there? Because polio for me was a personal fight. You know, it's a personal thing, and a personal thing because growing up as a boy, my best friend then, when we were in primary school, had polio. And I still remember back, you know, like those days when we were in primary school, I would do all those things that kids normally do, playing football, jumping up and down, running, swimming. He couldn't do them, not because he didn't want to, but because he was limited by polio. So sadly, 2 years ago, we lost him. I won't say he died as a result of polio. No, he didn't. Polio didn't kill him. But polio really, really limited his potential of, becoming what he would have wanted to be in life. Because, as a person, I jog 10 kilometers every morning. Right, that's a lifestyle for me. I jog 5 to 6, then I spend the next 1 hour.
Do you sleep at all?
Yes, I do.
You do? Oh,
I do.
That's really surprising to hear.
No, for the kind of lifestyle you have chosen, you need to be fit.
Correct.
Yes, you really need to be fit, mentally, physically.
Yeah, that's it.
Right there. Okay. So John asked, how do you tie this to the Rotary assignment? We hear that in a few weeks you will assume office as president of your Rotary Club. That's the Rotary Club of Ikoyi Metro.
Yes.
That's some advertisement, John, you will pay. So, would it be right for us to assume that this adventure is one of your key projects as you plan to take?
Not one of my key projects, but is it an instrumental to me achieving those things that I've desired to do to impact the community? The answer is yes. Okay. Because if you look at the idea, really is just not to raise funds for polio and also for those community initiatives I want to do to help give back to the community, but also to educate people, so that we don't become complacent about polio. Because a lot of people think because Nigeria was certified polio-free, Africa became polio-free, that polio is no longer here. The fact is, the virus is still very much with us. But the only point is, it's not getting manifested in the children because of the vaccination we've given the children. So if we stop and we become complacent, all the good work everybody done will go down the drain. So I use this as a two-pronged approach, like raise funds, then also communicate, the danger of being complacent about polio. So the fund we're going to be, I'm raising, that I've raised so far, I'm still raising, 20% of it is going to just polio plus support, while the other 80% is going into all those community development initiatives, which I plan to do in my year as president of Rotary Club Ikoyi Metro.
Okay, so before Helen issues us with an invoice, let's go back. Let's even go. I'm trying to unpack the lion heart, right? And maybe we have some other people.
Why is that lion heart in the first place?
Yeah, because it's...
How did that name come
I think it's even another...
The name came when I was 10. The
oh, really?
Yeah, I started calling me lion heart at 10. And it came from my granny.
She had seen into the future.
Yeah, when I was 10, I have not, we live in Kano then. I was in Kano with my parents, and I've not been to my hometown. That was my first time of actually going to my hometown. So granny has always been asking, bring this boy, let's see him, So finally, they took us home for holiday. I was 10 then. And granny that has been so keen about seeing us. After 3 days with granny, she was getting tired.
When are you guys going back?
You were probably climbing over all the chairs.
Then I was just, they said I was very troublesome then. Then what happened is they said one day, and she said it in Yoruba, she said, I think I did something. They said I did something tough again, maybe I caused some trouble. And she said in Yoruba that, which means that, why is your heart so hard like that of a lion? So since then they started calling me lion heart.
Excellent.
Okay, because where I'm going to, really, like I said, I'm trying to unpack this lion heart thing. And I'm sure we have a lot of other people out there. Maybe John Senaya has a lion heart hidden somewhere. But what does it take, to identify that you have something in you, your passion, and then run with it and get to... I don't know, my own lion heart, yes, I can ride a bicycle from here to Ozumba and Badi, but I'm not sure I can do beyond that.
Okay, you see, if you look at it this way, maybe just taking a little bit step backwards, if you look at how God created every one of us, we're all created. Well, I believe God created us. Some people don't, but it's okay if they believe whatever they like.
Yeah.
I believe God created me, and the same way He created everyone. He made us as a natural explorer. Because if you ask this way, look at when we were kids. We like to break things, go everywhere, try this, try that. That's an adventurous spirit. But what happens is as we grow, we lose them. Some people don't lose theirs, but most people lose theirs.
Yes.
And if you look at this guy, Neil deGrasse Tyson, he said something. He said, who is a scientist? A scientist is an adult who never lost his childhood curiosity. And that's why you see great scientists, they are people who want to try this, try that, and they come out with discoveries because they never lose the curiosity.
Never give up.
If you look at the way the world is, look at Nigeria, even look at, I hear Ellen says she's from Benue. Look at culture of Benue. Look at the culture of the Lagos people or the Yoruba people or the Hausa. We have so much diversity, even in Nigeria. So why did God put it there? God put so much diversity so that we can explore. And that's how we are called. We are naturally born adventurer.
Okay. All right, I sit down here with you, and I'm trying to wrap it all in my head. That's yes, willpower. Yes, dream. Yes, passion. Probably also a lot of finance, goes with this. Like John asked, what does it take to get someone to run with it? But tell us how you were able to merge this passion. Was there any time at all that you said to yourself, no, Kunle, don't go there. This is almost not doable. Was there a time as a human being, the mood change and the apprehensions and all of that?
Actually, just to answer that last question you asked, for me, I really don't believe anything is impossible. I have this, this positive can-do spirit, this attitude that I can do it. Like, okay, let me give you an example. If I try to do something and I fail, you know what I ask myself? I always say two things. It's either I have not struggled enough or I've struggled the wrong way. I don't say it's because, it's not meant to be. I don't believe that. So I always look at it that it is me who has not done enough. Or maybe now if I want to go from here to maybe, I just say Adirgo, there are 1,001 ways to go. Sure. I can just hit the road straight here, or somebody can go through 1,004 and still take that road back.
Yes.
So I believe that if I miss something in life, it's because I've not struggled enough. I've gone the wrong way. And maybe the person who went the right way got there before me and took it. They say good things comes to those who wait, but only those things left by those who don't wait. So that's my philosophy about life. And because I have that philosophy about life, that always helped me to look inwards to say, okay, if you are going to do this, then you need to be really prepared. Financing is also part of it. Doing this London to Lagos cost me a lot of money. But also it's part of the planning process. Yes, I didn't take 10 kobo from anybody and I didn't want it that way. It's my lifestyle. I should be able to fund my lifestyle. I shouldn't, look for somebody else to help me fund my lifestyle. So that's the kind of life I built for myself. And that's why I'm living that kind of life. So it takes a lot of willpower. It takes a lot of sacrifice of a lot of things. Some people could say, this is how they spend their money. It's okay for them. But I want to do mine this way because that's what gives me joy. That's what makes me me.
Yeah, but okay, now let's imagine that. Your can-do spirit is there, everything in place, and then you embark on the journey, and then something happens. Like what happened? The sandstorm in the Sahara. Tell us about that. Wouldn't that have put you off and said, "No, I'm going back home"?
No, it didn't. It was tough, right? Yes, it was tough. It was hard. I actually cried, You
did?
I did cry.
The lion heart cried.
Yeah. It's okay to cry. Great men cry, but what is not okay is to give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, that sandstorm, I had two major sandstorms and a minor one on the Sahara. And the major one that actually brought me tears to my eyes was, it lasted about an hour, 40 minutes. And you can imagine, like the sandstorm, the force of the gale was so high, so harsh that it was lifting me off. I weighed 95 kilos. It was lifting me. I was like floating. I had to hold on to the bike. Then when I held on to the bike, I had to lay the bike down. Then, bury myself close to the bike. And, my weight and the bike became one. The bike weighs 190 kilos plus me 95, so we're almost 300. So I held on that way so the storm couldn't take us. Right. So the storm was there, with the... the sand is brittle. It's like 1,000 needles hitting you, that way. It actually lacerated some part of my jacket. Then look at it this way. The Sahara is 45, 47 degrees hot.
Hot?
So, yes, imagine lying face down.
For
on that
long.
sand.
No wonder you
45
never used to
degrees.
be this dark.
That's what happened to me. That was what happened to me. I got badly burnt in the Sahara. But you know, I couldn't stand up. It was painful, right? Every inch of that heat was painful, but I couldn't stand up because there was a bigger evil up there. The storm would take me off. And you know, then, after I've done everything, you know, I've read a lot about, okay, if you have a sandstorm, how do you survive it? I've read a lot of people's experiences. So when that thing happened, my training just kicked in immediately. You know, that survival instinct. I just went that position. Now, the point again is you read about it like after you've done everything you can to keep you safe, there are some other things, accidents still happen, still happens. Because imagine if the storm lifted a car and just happens to drop it where you're lying down. Or it lifted a big object and drop it on your head where I was lying down. I have tried my own way to do everything to keep me safe, but then I was just there praying that I hope the universe will cooperate with me, you know, and just get me through this alive. And I was in that position for an hour, 40 minutes.
Just do everything and the universe will play.
Yeah, so when the storm finally passed, you know, I got up. I was covered with sand everywhere, so I took out, you know, started dusting off the sand. Then I took out my helmet, and again, you know, like, if there's strong wind in the house, you know that force of that noise. So imagine out there like somebody taking a sledgehammer and banging your head for like you get disoriented.
Yes.
You know, so there's some level of disorientation. So because when I got up, I was struggling to actually stand. I was like, I stood up, I fell down again, you know, because of that disorientation. So after a while, that disorientation left. Took out the sand, then took out, my helmet, the air plug. Then I just saw that I was crying. You know, I saw tears
of joy
streaming down my eyes. I didn't know whether it was because of the pain or the tears was because I didn't die.
You'll tell us.
But
You'll tell
it felt
us,
good.
You'll tell us the reason why you cried. Because now we have to take a break.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
I'll hold my own tears.
Wow.
I'll hold my own tears for now. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Okay, let's take a
Nigeria's Niger Delta region, from where the black gold fuels Africa's largest economy, where the lines between wealth and poverty has never been thinner. Conflicts, poverty, insecurity, and environmental challenges daily confront the region. How can the Niger Delta story be changed for the better?
Join Mamude Akuga at 9 p.m. every Friday evening on Plus TV Africa as he probes deep in search of solutions.
Inside the Niger Delta with Mamude Akuga, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
Yeah. So here we are, today with John and Helen. And the excitement today is that we've been able to get Kunle Adeyanju, the Lionheart, who rode 13,000 kilometers over a period of 41 days across the Sahara Desert. And he's here with us in the studio. Kunle, just before we went on break, we asked you to hold on and tell us exactly that experience in the Sahara Desert where you took off your helmet and you found tears. What kind of tears? Was it from pain or from joy?
Honestly, if you ask me, I can't tell. But the one key thing I know, it felt good.
Okay.
You know, it felt good.
Releasing.
It was like, I felt like a release of tension, or I think it was probably because I was still standing alive, because really the way the storm was going, that 1 hour, 40 minutes seemed like maybe 10 days to me.
I can imagine.
And when I came out and I said, oh, I didn't die, something like that. I guess it was tears of joy.
Yeah, I remember when I went through the rain yesterday.
Oh my God. Please go away.
I felt excited.
Talking better talk, you're talking rain. What kind of rain? Okay. There are tons of people watching this show, probably a lot of young guys who would like to go on an adventure like you did and like you will continue to do. What advice would you give to them? In the course of telling us how prepared you are, you say you had read the experiences of people who had done stuff like this before, and so you were prepared. what would you be telling someone who is about to go on a journey, you know, and identifying our passion and running with it against all odds? What would be your advice?
Well, you see, without missing my way, I'm just going to say to them, go for it. Because you will discover yourself.
Yeah.
All right? You will stretch yourself. You will learn a lot, and you'll be a better person. Because I was having a conversation with a group called Niger Bikers, about 300 of them on that, and they were asking me just the same question you asked. And I said, go for it. I said, but when you go for it, don't do 12,000 or 13,000 kilometers that I did. Go do 17,000 kilometers. Because we have to continuously raise the bar. That is how we can improve as a person and as people. Now, you see, when people go for this kind of adventure, yes, accidents do happen. Some people don't come back home. But most people still do come back home. But one thing I've realized is, you know, like in this part of the world that is lacking is people lack that tenacity, that diligence to put in detailed thought into the planning process. Even some little adventure, you know, like riding even within Nigeria. I'll give you an example. I ride bicycle a lot. And I remember even some riding we were doing within Nigeria, and you see the guy leaving his house, and he's telling you, oh, I forgot maybe my pump. I forgot this. So preparation is key, but people lack that attitude of, you know, putting in that due diligence before going in. Maybe because people tend to rush, like, I want to rush this. But when you do things like that, if, like, the Sahara is unforgiving, you know, it's not your friend. It's, the margin for error on the Sahara is so slim. You make one mistake, you may not come back home. I realized that. It was really, I read a lot of things about, you know, like before going on something like that, because if anything happened to me on the Sahara, it's difficult to get any help.
Yeah.
Because sometimes for 600 kilometers, you don't have anything, you're on your own. So if anything happened, I had to learn to go and how to fix a bike. I did 2 weeks attachment with a mechanic, how to fix a bike, how to mend my tire. And funny enough, I was on the Sahara, I had flat tire. So imagine if I have not done that. And if I don't have all the tools.
How did you fuel up?
Okay, you see, it takes a lot of planning. There are few stations there, but one still needs to be careful about how you plan. Now, if you look at, I did a lot of work to get my bike sizing, you know, like selection. There are 1,001 bikes, so I have to select the bike that gives me the right amount of power that I need. I can't be overpowered or I'm wasting resources. And I can't be underpowered. It won't take me through the Sahara. So, you know, to go through that, all I need is efficiency. So I got a bike that can deliver that. Then the tank is 17 liters. It gives me a range of 500 kilometers. Then I got another 5 liters, which is like an emergency reserve. So when the two are filled up, I have 22 liters and a range of 625 kilometers. Now I took that 625 kilometers, plug it on a map. Okay, so to make sure that from my starting point, before I exhaust that 625, it lands me in a town, a village, or a city somewhere where I can get those life support services. I can get water, fuel, food, probably hotel, all those things. So people ask me that, why did I follow through the coastline? And why didn't I go through Egypt? You know, like, sorry, Libya and co. Going through the coastline added 4,000 kilometers to the distance. 4,000 kilos. So if I gone through Libya, it's shorter, 8,000 plus.
Okay.
But this one, almost 13,000, you know, because it's going through the coastline. So people say, why did it take a longer route? The point is, after checking the map, going through from Libya, I can do 1,800 kilometers before I see any place to get those life support services.
Okay.
I don't have a bike. There's no bike that can give you that range.
Okay.
So if you go through there, it's just an accident waiting to happen. So all these are part of the planning process that took me, even the route selection, how I was able to navigate.
But you see, you didn't plan for the incidentals. Some of the incidentals. Let's even go back to when you crossed into Calais.
Okay.
Let's even leave out the Sahara. We've exhausted our discussion on the Sahara, probably. What were the other challenges that you had?
Well, if you look at, people think actually, your question is very good. People thought actually Europe doesn't have its own challenges, but it does have its own. Every area has its own unique challenges because crossing in from Dover into Calais, well, I just went on the ferry, an hour, 30 minutes ferry across the English Channel. Okay. Now into Calais, there were sub-zero temperatures. So it was terribly cold. Even with my thermal clothing and my thermal hand gloves, I almost had frostbite. Then look at the strong winds on the Spanish coastline. These are winds that almost knock you off the bike. Then again, because of some area where we had the sub-zero temperatures, ice forms on the road. It becomes black ice. It's terribly slippery. Terribly slippery. You make one move, you just go down. Even cars, you see cars just veered off.
But the African terrain would have been more friendly.
African terrain wasn't so, because it has its own challenges too. Coming into Africa, okay, let's leave the Sahara because we've talked about Sahara. But look at some part of the African terrain. I looked at the driving culture, some area the bad roads, then also another key one that oftentimes most people tend to forget is wild animals.
Yeah, I was looking at, I was thinking about the hostility.
You see a lion. I saw a lion.
The danger.
Monkeys were all over. Monkeys is okay, they can't hurt you that much, but they can cause accident. That's one thing is that part I didn't think about the monkey. I read a lot about, okay, how do lion attack? If you see a lion, what do you need to do?
As a lion heart.
Yeah, so I had to go and study how a lion does. And I discovered that, okay, a lion is a side chaser. It doesn't come to you head on like that. It likes to run beside you, then outflank you. That's a lion. So, and at top speed, a lion can do that can outflank at top speed. So I just knew quite all right that if I see a lion, the worst thing to do is to turn back. Because the lion will do it so much faster than I can do it.
Okay.
So then I checked, what is the maximum speed of a lion? The maximum speed of a lion is 80 kilometers an hour. I said, okay, that's fine. So I have a strategy. My bike can do 200. So if I'm going to pass through this park, this game reserve, my lowest speed, the minimum speed must be higher than that of the maximum speed of a lion. So those parks where, like they'll tell you this park, lions are here, the park ranger, I speak to them, get information. Then those kind of places, no matter how sharp the bend is, I won't drop my speed below 120, 130. There are some bends that I will go ordinarily, maybe you go through with 70 kilometers an hour, but because of the lion, I'll hold on to 130. Some, you almost knock off, but it was tough. But, sometimes and the one I really didn't think about was the monkeys. Because, you look at monkey, when you're thinking about lion, hyena, and cheetah, monkey doesn't come into play.
Your friend, yeah.
But they are actually the ones that tend to be the most, dangerous to bikers. Because, the monkeys, what I discovered, they go in pack. They don't go in one. You see like 50. And the thing is, imagine you're going on 150. They'll just run in front of you. So, like you're 150, you go down hard on your brakes. You have to go like from 150 to 30 kilometers an hour in 3 seconds or in 5 seconds. Sometimes the tail of the bike will lift up, the rear tire, lift up, then, bounces come back, with control. So that experience was really shaking.
I wish I was sitting at the back of the bike.
That's what I was asking. That would it have been better, maybe more exciting if you had company?
To go on your next
if I had another biker, ride with me. Actually, people said I was crazy for doing it alone. They said if you want to do those kind of, even people who do rally. I met people who organize rally.
It's a team.
They said a rally for a bicycle is a team of 6. For a car, it's a team of 3.
Okay.
So how can you alone do that? But like I said, I went into this because I said to myself, I want to stretch myself. I want to stretch. Can this stretch me? I want to discover my breaking point, So basically, that was why I went into that.
So did you discover your breaking point?
I didn't break. That's what I discovered. And I discovered that human beings, we have no limit, The limit is what we place on our mind, Really, if we think this is the limit, like that's why they say a potential is inelastic. Once you achieve that potential, it raises the bar for you to do another thing. So basically, that's what I discovered, and that informed my next adventure also.
Because I was going to ask, Kunle,
so where are we going?
Will you do this again?
Where are we going to?
Will you do this again?
Yes, I will do. Not the same route.
Yeah. Okay.
Not the same route, but I'm still going to do something similar. I'm riding from Lagos to Israel. Then when I get to Israel, I'll proceed to Tibet. Then on getting to Tibet, I want to ride the Tibetan plain. That's the highest plateau in the world. And they say God lives in Tibet, because of the high level of purity you see in Tibet about everything. So I want to experience that. Then after there, I'll proceed to the Everest Base Camp, drop my bike, and try to climb Everest. So that's what I have for the
making
next
it all
2 years.
sound...
it's normal now.
Easy peasy.
It's not like you do.
Tibet. You're talking about the Mount Everest.
Yes.
How many people have done the Mount Everest successfully?
Honestly, I can't.
And you're just
but,
saying, I'll do this, I'll climb this.
Well, like I have it for the next 2 years. I have it in line for the next 2 years. So I'll be going through a series of very tough training programs, to prepare my health, because at that level, really what you need a strong heart, and again, why I'm trying to go through the Tibet and spend some time in Tibet before going is I want to do a lot of acclimatization. There the altitude is a lot higher. Nigeria is sea level. We have so rich oxygen here. But going on to the Tibetan plain, the oxygen concentration is much lower.
Yeah.
So if I stay there for quite a while, it helps acclimatization. Because the Tibetan plain is 16,000 feet above sea level. So you can imagine that already. So I'll do a lot of acclimatization, do a lot of training there also to get my body prepared. While I'm training here, then continue then before I go into Everest. It's actually, quite dangerous, quite tough, but I want to try.
Okay, I've read from a couple of people who say you can only say you have lived life when you've been able to give, to others, give back to society, when you've been able to impact positively. Your adventure this one is targeted towards polio, awareness creation, and all of that. How do you plan to do this? Because like you said, polio is still with us, and a lot of people are still ignorant about, the facts on polio.
Yeah, you see, if you look back at what I talked about, the one I did in 2008, 2009, which is climbing
AIDS,
Kili. Yes, was actually, I tied it to raise funds for HIV/AIDS orphans. Now, doing this one now, I tied it to polio. The one for Everest, which I'm planning, the riding from Lagos to Israel to Tibet, then Everest, I'm going to tie it to another charitable cause. Which one, I've not decided now, but it's going to be tied to one. And it's true what you said, that when you give back, it's like you see a lot of people, they work so hard, they do so hard in their careers, and they get to the peak of their career, and they feel that emptiness. Sure. And they ask themselves, is this all there is? It's like spending all your time climbing the wrong mountain of your life, only to get to the peak and start asking yourself, so is this all this? And that emptiness. But that means there's no fulfillment.
Sure.
So what really helps people to fulfill as you do things, when you do things, and you tie it to giving back to the community. If you see most people, Bill Gates, why is he spending all this money? If you see most of this, they want to give back. Because it helps to bring in that fulfillment. And just like you said, when you give back, you touch people. It's enriching. So I find it quite enriching, and that's why I do things like that. So I agree with what you said.
It's enriching, and you see, when you arrived this morning, I'm sure that if you had arrived at this same place, maybe this time last year, the reception, people wanting to take pictures and all. The question is, having achieved this, have you been able to get people to even come on board, give you more, support this cause in acknowledgement of what you've achieved?
The answer is yes.
How has the outcome been?
The answer is yes, because I'll give you, okay, let me just mention one particular example. On Monday, we went to my hometown. About 50 of the bikers in Lagos followed me down to my hometown to pay a courtesy call on the Kabiyesi, the Oba of my hometown, the traditional ruler. So we came back, we decided to stop by at a joint in Magodo just to sit and have a drink. And we got there, a lot of people came, started taking pictures. And a guy came to me and said, I'm so touched. I didn't know this guy from Adam. I'm so touched by what you've done. But this is what I'm going to do is I'll speak to my chairman and let's see what we can do. And he placed this call to his chairman there. I took pictures, sent it to his chairman. Then he placed a call to the chairman. And there we were talking. And the chairman said, okay, we'd like to support End Polio. And the chairman said, we'll be giving you 2 million naira to support this cause. So people, even after completing the ride, people haven't seen this delivered, are still inspired and are still giving more into it. So that's why we still left it open, because the virus is still here, the fight is still ongoing, so there's no point to close it. It's still open and people are still giving and supporting.
Okay. So there's some kind of fulfillment there.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. You know what? I want to turn my attention to the eagle.
Okay.
What do you mean by
the eagle is the bike.
Oh, okay.
The bike itself. Tell us. Because you had to make a choice.
That should be your best friend.
Without naming brands and all.
That's true.
That should be your best
friend.
friend.
You had to make a choice.
Wow.
How did you prepare Eagle for this journey?
So yeah, you see, actually, okay, I named my bike the Eagle, because on the ride we went through a lot together. It was like my closest companion. It was Eagle alone I got to talk to most of the time. And I discovered that machines, they have soul. We talk.
Don't go there.
I'm serious. We talk. It talks back to me. I hear Ego talk to me. When I'm in challenges, when I'm in crisis, I talk to Ego, and you tell me, okay, don't worry, I got your back. Let's do it. So, in bike selection, okay, I had to choose that particular model, that particular bike, because I did a ranking template during the time I was doing the planning. Like going through the Sahara, what I really need is efficiency. I don't need excess power. If I take excess power, I'm carrying the power that I don't need. Then if I take a bike that's under power, like I said, it won't take me through the Sahara. Then also, looking at the fuel endurance, which I already explained, but I'll move on to other parties like the weight. Because I know I was going to be riding on Sahara sand, on the desert sand. There are some places where there are no road. So you have to go on the sand. Now, if falling is part of riding, if you ask any biker, they'll tell you that. So it's just that when you fall, you need to know how to fall professionally so that you don't go against the gravity. Just yield yourself to gravity and, you get back up. But when you go against gravity, you could break a bone.
Injure yourself. Wow.
So I know if you ride on the sand, the probability of going down, dropping your bike, that's falling, the probability of dropping the bike is high. So, and I said, okay, if I go, okay, my bike weighs 190 kilos. There's another make of a particular bike that weighs 269 kilos. If I happens to drop the bike on the Sahara, and, 269 kilos is lying on my leg, because if the bike falls, your leg is, my leg is under. If 269 kilos is lying on my leg, how can I lift 269 with me sitting down to remove my leg? So it's going to be a problem. And, that could spell death because nobody is there.
Yeah.
So I have to choose a bike that has a weight that I can manage. Eagle is 190 kilos. So if I drop Eagle, it's easier to cope with 190 kilos than to cope with 269, 70 kilos extra, Yeah. So those are all part of what went into the bike selection. The range is key. The weight also is key. Then also I need a bike that can move from sub-zero temperatures. Not like you're staying there for 3 days or 1 week, but just straight into 50 degrees Sahara. So I need a bike that won't disappoint. So all those things went into my ranking matrix, and this particular model came tops. So when it came tops, then I ordered the bike. Then that's why I chose the bike for the ride.
Wow. And the bike is ever so grateful for that.
The bike is as popular as you are.
Yeah, I was there when you rode in to Lagos, when we received you at the Rotary Center, and I could feel that the bike was happy.
It was.
You were communicating with the world, with everybody on this trip.
Correct.
And that's why that's how come when you got to any point, you had people, waiting to welcome you.
Yes.
And I listened to one of your interview, and you talked about how friendly Africans are as you rode in from one, Talk to me about that just in a minute. We're almost running out of time.
You see, like, they asked me, people say, what is my one most important takeout from this? And I said, it's the discovery of the true African people. I didn't know the story. It was like that. But I did 9,000 kilos plus in Africa, 3,100 from London to the boundary of Europe. That's Algeciras and Spain. And that 9,000 kilometers took me through all the major part of North Africa and West Africa. I discovered that African people are hospitable people. They are nice people. They are warm. They are friendly. And the land is full of diversity. So this wasn't what I read. What I read about all this, because I did a lot of reading about all the countries. What I read was the country, they are red zone, red, don't go there, danger, you could die, or amber, exercise caution, don't go there except you have to. All those negative things was what I read. But I tell you, this was the same continent where I had the best reception, the best protection, and the best support on this adventure.
Wow.
Awesome.
And that's good. That's a huge testimonial.
Yes.
That's it.
For us as Africans.
It is.
And Kunle Adeojo, we could keep you here all day.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's like we've been on this for just like 5 minutes. But believe it or not, the show we have to close it.
We have other segments on the show, yes.
Unbelievable feats. We hope that your efforts towards changing the narrative, with regards to polio does pay off. That's one thing. And again, we really must thank you for taking time out, to be with us on Today with John and Helen on Plus TV Africa.
Okay.
I don't know what else.
Like I said before, please remember to take us when you're considering a team. But there's a lot of work, so we're ready to go. All right, but thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
I have had a ball, having this conversation with you. And we can only wish you the very best.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. This is still Today with John and Helen on Plus TV Africa. We have other segments. Next, we would make way for the Keep Fit coach. And after that, don't forget that Pharaoh is already in the house. Please let's join the Keep Fit coach in the gym.
All right, so now you can see we've got some dumbbells. Don't worry, if you don't have dumbbells, you can use 2 bottles of water or fill some bottles of empty bottles of water with sand. They work as weights. So now we're going to start with a quick march, and then we're going to go into a HIIT workout. We have 5 workouts, and we're going to try and do them 3 times. Are we ready? Come on now. We start with jumping jacks. Let's go. And 1, 2, 3. Now you can see what Stephen is doing. He's doing the easier version. If you can't jump, just step out. Lovely. Come on. 3, 2, and 1. Slow it down. March. Very good. Next one, we're going to go into triple high knees. Follow Stephen. Just knee up. If you can't do your triple high knees, Elvis and I are going to go 1, 2, hold it. Are we ready? 5, 6, let's go. Hey! 4, 3, 2, and 1. March it out. Nice. Now, we're going to jump, squat. Stephen is just going to squat. We are going to do the jump, and the squat. Are you ready? 5, 6, 7. 2 jumps, 1 squat. 1, 2. One more. 1. March it out. All right, now, 2 punches down, 2 punches up. Steve is going to stay here. Elvis and I, we're going to kick it out as well. Are you ready? Ready. Come on. In 5, 6, 7. Take it down first. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, All right, this one's a little bit hard. But why not? Elvis and I are going to go here. This is what we're doing. Steve-O is just here. Elbows to the knees. Are you ready? Come on. 5, 6. Let's open out first. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice one. Catch your breath. This is a good time to have a sip of water because you need to what? Stay hydrated. Thank you. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yes, they are. In 5. We're going to those triple high knees. Just the high knees. 5, 6, 7. Let's go. 1. Hey. 2, 3. One more. And 1. Match it out. Good job. 2 jumps, 1 squat. You remember that one. Ready? Let's go. 1, 2. Good. 3, 4. Looking good. 5. Keep it up. 6, 7. Don't give up. 8 more. Let's go. 8, 7, 6. Come on. 5. Almost there. 4.
Let's go, guys.
3.
Yeah.
2. One more. And 1. Match it out. Good job. Remember the punches? 2 punches down, 2 punches up. Stay with Steve-O right here. If you can't jump. Elvis, are you ready? Let's go. 1.
Let's go.
Hey. 2. Come on, 3. Catch your breath. Nice one. Elbow. Nice one. So we're taking it to the last one. We're going to change it from the first one because we want to target those abs, yeah? So we're right here. Right leg first. 1. Give me doubles. Everybody's doing this one. Push your limit. 5, 6. We go. Right leg. 1. Come on. 2. 3. Trap those elbows. 4. Steve-O, stay here. We are going to kick out on the next one. Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 knee, 1 kick. 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 And 1. And match it out. Dumbbells down. In a safe space in front of you so you don't trip over it. Safety first. Let's bring it down. In 5, 6, 7. Deep breath in. Let's go. And out. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In. And out. 1 more. In. Hip circles. Let's go to the left. 1. And 2. And 3. And. Now, can you touch your toes? Touch. Bounce on it. Stretch those hamstrings. Very good. Now hold it. 8, 2, back bend. Slowly rise up. Push your hips forward. Bounce. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Shoulder stretch. Come on. Nice stretch here. Tricep stretch all the way to the back. Small of your back. Pull it. Let your body follow. Lovely. And back up. Other side, shoulder stretch. Grab that elbow. Very nice. Clasp hands in front of you. Turn over. Push. 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 Now go up. Heels off the floor. Grow. 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 Hold it. Hold it. And we collapse down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and awesome. Elvis, Steve-O. Thank you for joining us this morning. I hope you got a fantastic workout. Until the next time. Ciao. Bye-bye.
We're still on the sex education matter, but today we're looking at hormones, intimacy, and sex. Essentially, the connection between all three things. And with me to discuss this is Dr. Tolulope Okoigari. Dr. Tolulope is the founder and head therapist at the Intimacy Clinic. She's a certified internationally trained clinical relationship and marriage counselor, sex therapist, family life coach, and matchmaker. Dr. Tolu has received numerous awards both in Nigeria and abroad, and is currently the executive director of the Institute of Counseling in Nigeria. She's also the host and producer of the TV and radio talk show Intimacy Clinic with Dr. Tolu. Welcome, Dr. Tolu.
Thank you for having me.
I am literally giddy with excitement. I've just been saying, oh my God, I'm going to have Dr. Tolu on my show. I'm so excited. As you know, this is a topic that I think we cannot talk enough about. So let's delve right in.
Right.
What is hormones, intimacy, sex?
So I would say hormone is a substance that is released into the body, more like a chemical that is released into the body, into your system, more like a kind of connection between your cells and your organs. So
let's simplify it for non-medicals like myself.
Okay, so hormones are chemicals that are released to your system to make things happen.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. So your brain sends certain signals to your body to make certain things happen.
Okay.
So those signals are like hormones, they're like chemicals that are released into your body to make certain things happen.
Okay.
And then to me, I would just simply put intimacy as a sense of deep connection that you feel with another person.
A sense of deep connection.
A sense of deep connection that you feel with another person. And of course, sex is a physical act, but to me, it's deeper than that, you know. So when you are talking about intimacy, you are looking at physical connection, emotional connection, mental connection, and in a lot of cases, spiritual connection. So the physical aspect is more like the sex aspect. But for me, I see sex beyond that, beyond just physical as well. But the truth is, people can have sex with you without being emotionally connected, without being spiritually connected, or mentally connected. But I feel like great sex also happens when those four things are also in place. So intimacy and sex are interwoven, especially when you are really into the person.
What does hormone have to do with any of this?
So hormone drives sex in a lot of cases.
Really?
Hormone drives intimacy in a lot of cases. So it's more like you want to have sex. Like we said, it's something that is like a chemical that is released to your system. So it's more like your brain is saying, I want to have sex. Without those things being released to your system, you are not feeling that desire, you know. So hormones give you, you know, more like a trigger, you know, to be able to have that sex or that intimacy that you want to have. Or it can even be any other thing, but because we are, you know, limiting this to sex and intimacy, hormones triggers.
So without the hormone, the sex is not even going to happen in the first place.
It will, but it might. Of course, I mean, I think it can happen, but it's not just going to be like the way you want it. So, like I said, that's why I said to me, sex is beyond the physical aspect. So you really want to enjoy it, you want to connect with the other person. I think your hormones has to play their roles.
What are these hormones? Can you give me some of the key
So
hormones
we
at play?
have estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. These are sexual hormones because, of course, we are limiting this topic to sex. And of course, oxytocin, the bonding hormone. In fact, as a matter of fact, it is believed that oxytocin helps to promote monogamy.
Really?
Yes.
Oxytocin?
Yes.
Which is the cuddle hormone?
Yeah. So it's more like a bonding hormone. It bonds. So if you look at couples that are drifting apart and are struggling with monogamy or intimacy, you might want to check the level of hormones that is being released between the two of them. Now, or into their system when they are together. Now, so for oxytocin, oxytocin, it's believed to be released from the breast milk to a child. When a mother is breastfeeding a child, oxytocin is released, and that's why they say, can a mother forget? So you see, you get that level of connection you see between a mother and a child. You have it between a man and a woman because they are able to bond at a certain level, and that oxytocin is kept being released into their system, and then you see them, having that level of connection. Like it's not something that happened in a day, but when it's consistent, you begin to feel this sense of intimacy. That's why I feel sex is beyond physical. Like you have to connect at a certain level, to get that level of connection that you are looking for.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've also heard about
endorphins
and dopamine.
So they put you on top of your game. These are hormones that want to. So you see a woman that is looking more beautiful, upwardly mobile, even a man that is on top of his game. Check the levels of chemicals that are being released into their system during intimacy.
Wow.
So when you see a woman that is happy, that is agile,
that is glowing,
that is upwardly mobile, check the level of hormones.
Things are getting done.
Exactly. Check the kind of hormones that is being released. That's why you see a lot of women when sex is not great, even men, but a lot of women in a lot of cases, because the major hormone for men, apart from the endorphin and all of that, is testosterone, which is why in a lot of cases, so I tell women, your husband is going to desire sex more than you because he has testosterone. That hormone, women has testosterone, but very little. It's about 25 to 45% higher in men. That's testosterone. So in a lot of cases, except in rare cases, a man is going to desire sex more than women because hormone drives our mind. It drives our, like it's connected to the brain. So you are thinking it's pushing you, and you are thinking like, I'm the one thinking it. Your body is acting it because it's more like a chemical. When it's just like you had red and blue together, you get green, So when this thing is released to your system, certain reactions has to take place.
So what about men who would say, or women who would say, but I'm in a relationship and my husband and I don't have sex that often. How do you respond to that? Because you're saying the testosterone means that the man will want to have sex more than the woman.
Yes.
But there are lots of relationships that the man are the ones not wanting to have sex with the
woman. They must be in crisis in a lot of cases, except it's a choice. I mean, I see a lot of couples, and I tell you, a lot of marriages, especially in this part of the world, when it comes to sex, are in crisis. And I mean, people say it a lot of times that the easiest way to stop making love to a woman is to get married to her.
Wow.
So you see, men are really crying in marriages these days. I don't even envy them. Men are crying. And I feel like in a lot of cases, when this, bring it back to hormone, when this feel good hormones are not being released to your system a lot of time, so you practically stop having the urge, because this hormone drives your urge, drives your desires, so you stop having all of that as a woman. So when you don't have it, you are not looking forward to the next time you're going to have sex. So I feel like if people are able to put themselves inside intimacy, inside this sex, and get the hormonal benefits that come from it is going to improve it the next time. It will make it get better because they keep feeling like, when those things make them feel good, they look forward to it the next time. And the more they do it, the better it becomes.
So, wow. So essentially, without the hormones being released, there may be a challenge with the level or the quality of the sex.
Yes, I think so.
And the level of intimacy.
100%.
But then in the reverse, without the intimacy happening,
the
hormones stop being released.
Yeah.
So they all kind of
more
work.
like at a point, especially when you stop getting it, you might need to push yourself into it. So if you push yourself into it, you get the benefit, and then you feel like doing it better the next time. Because like you said, if you don't do this, this won't happen. And without this, you don't feel like doing this. So you need to psych yourself, find yourself into it so you can get the benefits. And like you asked earlier, the reason why a lot of couples are drifting apart sexually is because this thing is not being released into their system. So after some time, they just lose it completely.
Okay, so let me ask, based on the world we live in, yeah? Nigeria is tough.
Yeah.
People are going through a lot.
Yeah.
How are they going to even be thinking about? A lot of people will tell you that I don't even have the energy to think about sex, let alone say, okay, I'm going to cuddle, I'm going to, how do you advise they get around all of that?
So I say this, people say, oh, I don't like sex, I'm stressed, because it's why it boils down to what we are saying, because they are not getting the benefits. So for me, I see sex as a stress relief.
Yes.
Because that's what it's meant to be. When you have sex, all of these feel-good hormones are released into your system. You are calm,
you can think
happier,
clearly,
you are more agile, you feel good. As a woman, you even feel good about yourself. You feel sexy. You feel this level of femininity.
What about the man?
Even as a man, you have this masculine, masculine strength, thought in your head.
Your ego.
It helps you to lift that ego, and you feel good about yourself.
Because men will tell you, I'm there chasing money, you're talking to me about sex.
In a lot of cases, men, in fact, in most cases, only in rare cases, men will want sex. So, yes.
There's some men that will probably disagree with you,
I agree that there are some men, there are people that are asexual. People don't even want to have sex at all. And a lot of people are in that case, especially even in this country. And we don't even talk about it. And they are married, and they don't even want to have sex at all. They are naturally like that. They are born that way.
But
right?
if you say
testosterone.
Yes.
Yes, like I said, in almost all cases. So there are rare cases where people are just like that. So maybe people like that, if you test their level of testosterone, but it's not just for men anyway, for both male and female, they are asexual, that they just don't want to have sex. So I'm sure, this I've not researched, but I'm sure it might have something to do with the level of hormone in their system. Right. So now talking about the fact that some men will say, I see it, I'm chasing money, and you are talking about sex. It's very African. Really.
Yes, it is.
It's very African. Yeah. And the truth is, if you understand the benefit that comes from sex, you will have the sex because it makes you to think better, to even make the money that you want to make.
So in layman's term, if you want to make a lot of money, have a lot of sex.
Have sex. You're going to think straight. You're going to feel good. See, I say this. Whatever happens in the bedroom is going to dictate what is going to happen in the boardroom. Right. So
very true.
Yeah. So if you feel, and it's so crazy with men, because erection is egoistic. Men's sexuality is attached to their ego. So when you feel little in the bedroom, when you are entering the boardroom, even if everybody is looking at you at the top, you are looking at yourself at the ground, like I'm nobody, I'm not, because you are not fulfilled in the bedroom. Take charge. See a man that is a charge in the bedroom. that is being fulfilled, that is being satisfied, when that happens, those feel-good hormone is released to your system. And then you are more bold, you know, your ego is intact. When you are entering the boardroom, you are feeling like a don. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Wow.
Mm.
I'm
and for
loving
women
this.
as well, it's the same thing. You are happier, you are fresher, you are more beautiful. I tell women that if they are begging you for sex, number one, you are not even enjoying it. Because women even have the capacity to enjoy sex more than men. So why should they beg you for it? It's because in a lot of cases, I also think a lot of African men are not too good when it comes to making love to a woman. Because women's sexuality is complicated. So it takes a lot. So our men will be like, I don't have time, like you have said. yeah. So they don't want to go. Meanwhile, if you go through that route, and what you call like, I don't have time for all of that. When you go through that route, at the end of the day, you have a woman who is sexually active in your hand, and it makes life easier. Like when you see women that are naggy, check their sex life. Women that get angry so easily, check their sex life. But that's the truth.
It is the truth.
It is the truth.
It is, and it's ironic because when people used to say to me in the past that oh, I have a female boss who is always nagging and she's difficult. I'm like, does she have a man? And if they're like, ah, she doesn't have a man.
You can gang up and get a man to make her feel good.
It sounds odd because people are probably like, why are you guys talking about sex in the morning? But it is important because from everything you've said, it's part of the cycle of life.
Yeah.
You cannot run away from it.
Interestingly, if sex is bad in marriage, for example, so we have to talk about these things anyway. If sex is bad in marriage, you are going to have a dysfunctional family. Take it or leave it. It's deep, but I'm just going to put it that way.
Yes.
If sex is not working in marriage, you're going to have a dysfunctional family.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Can you have intimacy without sex?
You know, this is something that a lot of people would debate. But I will be, yes, I'm sure, of course, you can have intimacy without sex. But it's difficult.
It's difficult.
Yes.
Why?
Don't forget the components of intimacy include mental connection, emotional connection, even spiritual connection. And then there is a physical connection where the intimacy comes in, where sex comes in. You know, so how do you get intimate with somebody? And then, now, there could be, I'm trying to say something, but I'm thinking, am I not taking it out of context? Currently, in the world, there are close to like 50 different types of non-monogamy. So you can be in and we do that in Africa anyway. It's just that we pretend about it. I think we are very hypocritical. You know, so you could be in an emotional relationship with somebody. Maybe the person has problem with erection, like a man or a woman on a wheelchair. You just love this person. You love being around them. You connect. They makes you feel good, but they don't have the capacity to sleep with you. So that way you could decide, like the two of you could talk about it, that you know what, you can have sexual relationship with another person. But I feel like being with you, I enjoy being with you. But if it's not something like that, especially maybe you are in an emotional relationship, it's a contract called marriage. And so in marriage or in an emotional relationship, you are expecting that there should be sexual intimacy and the person is not able to perform. I don't see that working.
Some people will argue with you as well, because some people will say, what about till death do us part, unconditional love? What about all those things?
See, a sexually frustrated woman is like a time bomb waiting to explode. Not even to talk about a sexually frustrated man. So let's not deceive ourselves. Forget till death do us part. I want to have sex. I want to feel good. How will marriage even work without? How emotional? What do you call emotional intimacy? Sex is a level, it's a higher, you know, like form of the highest level of vulnerability.
Okay, so let me take this to general, not everybody's married.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about this in the context of marriage. But let's be real.
Yeah.
this, you know.
Agreed, 100%.
So what about the people who, they're not married? What about them? Are you saying that they can't have good sex and intimacy? They're going through the same things. Everybody's going through the same thing.
Hormone in their system.
Yeah.
Telling them, I want, the body saying, you know, it gets to a point at certain times of the month, your body is saying, especially for a woman, your body is saying, I just want to have sex. We don't
Before
talk
your
about
period.
this before your few days before your period. Everything in your body begins to change. You are going to feel it.
So what, your hormones?
Your hormones are messing with your body, and it's going to happen. Like for a lot of people, you know, the breasts become, you know, more tender. You know, you feel horny. You know, you feel this feminine, you know, sense of feelings. You know, and
so how do the men deal with that?
How do you mean?
Because if a lot of men don't necessarily understand that before a woman's period, she's more desirous of sex, and it's a hormonal thing.
Right.
It's not her being difficult.
Right.
How?
I think it's more about education and information. Men need to really understand. In fact, even if you don't know about hormones or all of this, you should know that there are certain times of the month that she wants it. You know, she feel like I really want to do it. You know, so so I think it's something that we can't overlook. Hormones, like you said, whether you are married or single, you are still going to feel the same thing. You know, especially at that time of the month for a woman. So for men, I think there is need to be more conscious, you know, to understand that at a particular time of the month, you know, I can even, in fact, it makes it's easier for women that struggle with intimacy or sex. It's easier to get into them at that particular time of the month. But whether you are single or married, you are going to feel these things. And I think we really need to tell the single guys and single ladies that, you know what, you are not a bad person for feeling all of these things. It's normal. Your body is going to feel, and please stop conditioning yourself and telling yourself, oh, I'm a terrible person, I'm a sinner, why am I feeling like this, why am I feeling honey? Like, it's okay. It's part of your life. You know?
It's science.
It is. So there's nothing you can do about it. It's going to come. Even if you don't want to, if you choose to be celibate or you don't want to have sex, fine if you choose to, but please don't send wrong signals to your brain.
What happens if you do send wrong signals to your
brain? You
brain?
are going to struggle
when
you are now ready. You see, because what you are doing, when you feel all of these beautiful things, and then you are feeling guilty, you are feeling sober, I'm a bad person, and why should I feel this? You are telling your body not, you are sending signals to the brain. And when it's time, the level of hormones that is going to be released to your system are going to be reducing gradually because you are sending that message across.
So you're saying there's a hormonal conflict?
Yes, not more like conflict. It's just telling your body what to do. So after some time, you know, it's more like conditioning. The brain understands. It's like teaching you, because before anything is released to the system, the brain sends the message. So you are passing message to the brain, stop sending me this signal. Stop sending me this signal. I'm a bad person. When you send it, I feel terrible, I feel guilty. Stop sending it, right? So when you are now ready, you think, because a lot of us think like sex is a switch. So when you are ready, you now make, pump, let's start. Your brain cannot respond anymore.
Wow.
So you are not a bad person for feeling all of these things, for feeling, you know, these things, like you really want to have sex, you want somebody to touch you. You're not a bad person for feeling it. And it's okay. So if you don't want to do it for whatever reason, it's okay, but don't send wrong messages. Maybe you tell yourself, you know what, don't worry, you know, I know this feels good, but I don't want to do it. Maybe you give yourself reasons why you don't want to, if you don't want to. But don't just send wrong messages to your brain.
Don't shut it down.
Don't shut it down.
Because it'll be difficult to get it back.
Yes, you can't wake it up like this. You are going to struggle. In fact, in a lot of cases, it's going to take you, the way you conditioned is how you have to recondition it. And you even need therapy in a lot of cases before you can recondition it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so I'm going to go back to hormones, intimacy, sex. can you please give us 3 to 5 pieces of advice on how to live a healthier sexual life?
So I think the first message I will pass across is for parents to teach their children. You need to be open about sex. Not how necessarily, in fact, not how to have sex or not the skills of lovemaking. That's not the same thing as sex education. Teach your children. Menstruation is hormone that is reacting when you are seeing your period. You know, so teach them about all of these things. Let them understand that they are going to feel certain things at certain times.
Because children have these same hormones
They
as
have
well.
it.
So a 13-year-old girl who has entered puberty
will
have the
feel
hormones
funny.
a few days before,
yes,
and will be horny.
Yeah, will be. See, in fact, sexuality is, we are sexual beings. So even a 2-year-old, that's why you see a 2-year-old will be touching herself and be feeling good. It's sweet, even when she doesn't know. The brain doesn't. She doesn't know what it's all about.
And the boy,
a boy, it's sweet. When he touches himself, it feels sweet, but he doesn't even know what is happening. And that's why parents, so it brings it back to the first point, like sex education. That's why parents, you see your child, maybe, especially for the boys, they are more adventurous, and you see your child touching himself, and then you're like, stop that, devil, demon, why are you doing that? You know, those kind of a thing. What kind of a child is this? And the child cannot understand, why is mommy angry with something that is sweet? So you're already distorting the stages of sexual development by doing that. I'm not saying encourage that, but don't shut it down at the same time. So you must find a way to balance this. So that's number one. Sex education is very important. And it's important for parents to understand the stages of sexual development. In fact, stages of development in children. But because we are talking in context of sex, you need to understand the stages of sexual development in children, so you know what to watch out for at every stage in the life of your child. So that's a good information I would like to pass across. And to those that are probably not having sex or single, I would let you guys know that it's okay to feel good, to feel all of these feelings. It's not a bad thing, so don't shut it down. Because if you shut it down, you're going to look for it when you are ready for it. So don't shut it down.
Okay.
Right? And I would tell those that are married or those that are sexually active that if you have gotten to a point where you don't feel like doing it, please push yourself a little bit. Push up, because if you are able to push yourself a little bit and you enjoy the benefits, it will help you the next time you want to do it. So you keep the more you do it, the more you feel like doing it.
And there are lots of benefits.
Yeah.
Dr. Tolu, oh my God, I'm so excited. Oh my God. Wow, that has been super packed and so intense and so educational. And I really, 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 really hope that we've been able to just break it down and simplify this whole thing and demystify this whole thing. Thank you so much, Dr. Tolu.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
We need to talk about these things, and you are doing a great job.
Thank you so much. So we've got a few more minutes to wrap up the show. So please stay with us for a little bit longer whilst we wrap up the show. Thank you so much.
Businesses in Africa can be very challenging. In Nigeria, it is particularly intimidating, and successful builders have learned how to navigate a hostile environment to unlock opportunities. But one major challenge businesses face is how to filter through the noise and identify where their ideal customers exist. Get insight and practical steps from industry players and captains of industries. Hear success stories to help you make informed decisions as you scale your business in Nigeria. Watch Business Insights at this time on Plus TV Africa.
blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Buki November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Aru.